mental presence.
All right, it is Wednesday. It is noonish. It is time for the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. Lucky you. It's going to be one of those shows today. I can already feel it because we have Ranson Karr in the studio with us.
That's right. I'm back again.
Which is always a hoot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Absolutely. And we get to discuss your femininity some more, actually, because your pumpkin spice and your man tans and all that. We're going to bring it up.
All the real manisms I have.
Exactly. Because, I'm going to come out and tell you that I use beard oil. So
okay,
that's all good. But I do buy it at Angler's Bait and Tackle in Englewood, Ohio. Because if you're going to buy product for your hair, you can only get away with it as a man if you buy it at the same place where you can test fire a compound bow and renew your fishing license.
So you get your bait oil at the Beard and Tackle.
Right, something like that.
Okay.
No, my bait oil. Anyway,
welcome back, Ranson.
Welcome back to the show, Ranson. Always good to have you. We never go where we shouldn't when you're here.
Right.
You are the voice of reason for the Life Radio Show.
I keep you on that fine line.
Exactly. Because that's, it's pretty fine. And, with him is Joe Salmons. Close enough. Get closer to that mic. You guys are just gonna have to be like cheek to cheek, not those cheeks. So your face.
He's used to that.
Right? Not those. I wasn't talking about those cheeks. Ashlee Duncan is back as well, and she's very brave to come back after. It's been a while since you. I think that was
like a year ago.
Yeah, at least a year ago.
Because we were doing the Just Call Me Rant stuff a lot. And
are you? Have you still got the Just Call Me Rant?
I don't. I still got it. I just don't know. What I'm do with
are
it
you
yet.
Still doing anything with it? It still a thing?
Still holding the footage. I'm not ready to say that I'm not going to do it.
Okay, because there was supposed to be a scene I was going to do, and I was really excited about it.
We're still going to do that scene because that's the one episode I have, and that's all I need is that scene.
Okay,
it's just a matter of doing it like probably when the weather breaks. So.
Yeah, you don't want to do that scene in the cold because it's that scene just would not work.
Yeah,
in the cold.
But that scene's got to be done. It's too funny not to. So.
That's true. We also have somebody shadowing me today. I have a shadow here in the studio, but I always turn their mics on because sometimes it scares them. But he's a confident-looking young man.
I think so.
Ryan.
Yes. How's it going?
It's going good. What's your last name again?
Guffey.
If you want it out there.
Guffey.
Mm-hmm. Guffey. Okay. Ryan Guffey is in. So we have a full studio today.
All right.
And so far it's been all potty talk.
It has.
For the most part.
We just now went live. So
right. We just now went live. So let's end that right now.
Okay. We'll try.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to make it
So tell me a little bit about the movie.
The movie that you're in.
Yeah,
you don't know the name
Snake
of.
Drain Preppers.
You'll just do anything, won't you?
I pretty much will do anything.
We're going to talk after the show. I got another movie I want you to do.
I'm in. I don't even need to see a script.
Speaking of cheek to cheek,
I am in.
We're going to do a good movie.
Wow. I'll do. How much do I have to pay you for that one?
That's right. As long as you know how this works.
Better question, who else is in the movie?
Does it matter?
Good.
Yes, it sure as hell does.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What's that?
She said it's just the two of you, so.
The two of me?
Yeah, you
There's
and
only
Joe.
one of me.
No,
Hey, $20 is $20, man.
That's see exactly. He knows. It
He
only
knows.
costs him
That's
$20.
That's why he's been in all the shows. He knows.
So tell me about Snake Drain Preppers.
So it's almost done. It's really close. I know last time I was here it was close, but this is literally like within the next
it's close.
month or two.
There's been progress. That's all.
There's a ton of progress. Yeah,
awesome.
like I literally have almost all the editing done. Last night I was messing around getting some different filters to kind of change some of the look of it a little bit. What's that noise, Don?
Is there a noise?
Yeah, I did, but it's gone now.
It could have been you. It's all in your head.
It could have been.
Most of the show is actually on your head. Or it's all in my head. It's one or the other. I think I just imagine this show every Wednesday, and I'm not really here.
That makes it suck
Somehow
for me.
I get it recorded.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is weird.
Somehow it comes through.
Yeah, I probably should stop doing drugs. Actually, that would help.
So, but it's going well. It's almost done. I'm kind of waiting on the weather to break. I have like 2 scenes left to film, but they're outside. And the whole thing that I don't know how much you saw of it. I don't think you saw anything really since you were
just a little bit, just snippets and pictures and stills. That
the guys all have cut off
so.
T-shirts, so there's no way we can film that right now. Like there's just
yeah, you'll be fine.
They'll see their breath in one scene and not the other. It won't make a whole lot of sense. So as soon as the weather breaks and we get
you haven't been doing independent film long, have you?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to make it look as good as I can.
Right. I'm just kidding, because a lot of times you just I've been in some great ones for
I know
for that kind of continuity.
I was I guess if you call it bragging you up on the way here.
There you go.
We'll say bragging in your face.
We'll call that.
It's good.
Yeah, don't say anything about.
Yeah, don't bring that up.
Yeah, because they'll talk for hours about it and nobody cares.
But I got some other stuff on the rise that's kind of exciting that I haven't actually told anybody about.
So it's breaking news
breaking
on
news
the life. This is
for
awesome.
the three
this
viewers
is why we're here.
That's actually, right.
But
3?
3?
Well,
we got 2 more viewers.
We got 8 on Facebook.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's like
for those 8.
That's like 4 times as many as we get on radio.
That's right. So see, we're doing great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a like a little interview type show. Kind of like it's gonna be like some other stuff you see, like the comedians in cars with coffee with Jerry Seinfeld,
right?
Stuff like that. But it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be Joe's gonna be a co-host. We're gonna go to his house. We're gonna shoot a game of pool with the guest to start the show. Then we're gonna go to a local restaurant in Dayton that's locally owned, eat their food, kind of talk about the food a little bit and how good it is, and then do a little bit more of the interviewing. And that's going to be pretty much the basis of the show.
Now, are you any good at pool,
Yes.
or is it going to be like a 45-minute game of pool to open up the show? Because that's
no, it'll be wait. The game of pool will probably last like 2 hours because I'm so bad at it.
Okay.
But that's
so good at pool.
Well, I have the pool table and I haven't even played it.
So yeah.
I'm the same way. I have an antique Brunswick 9-footer in my basement, and I don't think I've taken the cover off the felt in
That's
2 years.
Typically, what everybody does when they have a pool table.
Yeah, because when I first got it,
It's
I
great for
used
laundry,
to be
though.
I used to be good, because you get good on that 9-footer, that nice slate pool table. You get good on that 9-footer. You go to those 7-foot bar tables and you will own them.
Really?
I did that back when I used to play a lot. I went to one of the local bars near my house, and there were people that wanted to fight me over that pool table, because the one guy, it was $1 a game. You put your dollar up there, you got the next game, and the guy put his dollar up there. I broke, ran the table. He never got a shot. He was furious. He slammed another $1 up there. He was ready to go again. I said, "Do you want to break?" He said, "Sure." He broke, didn't get anything in. I ran the table. End of game. He was furious. But
over $2.
over $2. Oh, he was mad. He wanted the table. $2 is $2, and he was. Well, I think it was just more embarrassment, because he was the pool king.
That is the one
But
game
it's-
that people just lose their stuff over when they
they
get beat like that. You know what
And
I mean? Like,
I'm terrible anymore, because I haven't played in so long.
you play baseball or something and you get beat really bad. It's not like everybody wants to beat the crap out of you. You play pool with a one-man game and they run the table on you. There's going to be a fight.
Oh yeah, especially if you do it twice in a row.
Yeah. So why'd you
Yeah.
quit? Like,
I got
Got
too much
bored
to
with
do. I got too much going on.
hey, maybe you should like go back to that, because maybe you're really good at it. You know?
I should. Are you saying I'm not good at anything else?
I'm
Is
just
that
saying,
what you're trying to tell
stick
me?
to what you're
Ranson?
good at, Don. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Fine!
We'll see if we can make Don
Quit.
cry. Stay tuned.
Yep, that's it. Well, it's my turn this time. I
Yeah.
think you're usually, because we pick on your
And
your
it'll
your
come back
feminine
around.
qualities.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
is a quality, though.
It
Let's
is a
keep that in
quality.
mind.
Absolutely. I wish I could find my feminine side. I tried to with the beard oil, but just isn't.
Anything with a
just
beard
isn't-
is not feminine. You can't have that. Well, I mean, for
Except
some it
it's-
is.
It's beard oil, but it's still a hair product.
For your face.
Yeah.
I just never understood it.
I
I've
don't get it
never
either.
understood it. The
What,
beard
the beard
oil.
oil?
Does it make
Yeah.
your beard soft?
When it
I'm not
does,
gonna
and
tell
it
when
smells
it's too late.
fantastic. Yep, Scotty Mays was in here last week, and he was smelling. He was right up here
He was
smelling. my
smell-
beard. Oh
Of
yeah,
course
oh yeah.
Scotty
Well,
was.
he's trying to
That's
quit
Scotty
smoking,
for you.
and it's
Oh.
kind of got a like a pipe tobacco scent to it. So yeah, he was sitting on my lap sniffing my beard. He was Scotty. I miss you.
I love Scotty. He's my favorite person to mess with. He is. He gives it right.
he's
Him and
good
Doug
dude,
Morgan
good
are
dude.
like the two that I just.
Doug Morgan. I've heard that name before.
Oh, you met Doug in here?
really?
I'm just kidding. He's
I was
been
going to
here
say.
a couple-
I was so going to make a joke
Yeah.
about Doug. I was going to say he's used to be a comic. He's not anymore.
Oh yeah. He's the one that he kidnapped a kid or something.
Yeah,
Posts all kinds
yeah.
of pictures,
Acts like he's a
ran some
dad.
notes. Yeah. Yeah. Just kidding, Doug. We love you too.
I'm not Doug.
Yeah. Huh?
Nothing.
I didn't say.
I said I'm not
You're
Doug.
not kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were telling me you're not Doug, which is definitely a proud thing to pronounce. I mean, if I was Doug, I wouldn't let anybody know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think he's proud of the Doug Morgan. So
Right. Which, see, this is how local comics treat each other.
Of course.
Which I don't even know if I'm considered a local comic anymore, because I mean it's been like 4 or 5 months.
You should be
since I've
getting
actually been on stage.
You should be getting offers to do things to you with the status you're at now.
I should be.
You're
but
like
I'm
a partial
not.
club owner. So
I'm
everybody
not
should
unless
be
you're trying
begging
to
you.
say, unless you're trying to tell me something.
Listen, I'd like to get on stage, John. What do I got to do?
We'll talk off the air.
Why are you winking at me?
Wait, you were just on stage this past weekend, so I've already got one.
Okay.
I've already got one.
I don't like the way it
owed
went.
to
I
me.
want to go again. So.
Okay. So
I'll be back there the 2nd of February.
That's true. You're part of the little showcase they're doing with Nate
Brock,
Washington,
Brock Shank,
Brock,
Nate Washington, Nick
Taylor, and Ed John.
Ed John, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how they got on there. No. No,
I'll tell you what.
They're good. They're good dudes.
They both were on that show this weekend. Nick Taylor did a set, and that's like the best I've ever seen him do. Like I've seen him do really well, but Nick Taylor, I told him after he's done, I was like, man, that was like
really
it was like nonstop.
He
He
did
never
great
had a
set
moment
New
where
Year's
there wasn't.
Eve.
Yeah,
New Year's Eve, he went up with the Todd Yon was there.
Oh,
he
nice.
He had a great set.
yeah.
that
Todd's
night.
really good. I didn't know he went up with them. That's awesome.
Yeah, they Nick and Ed are both they're both really well. Nick anyway. No,
No, I like Ed too. That's
yeah,
good.
I like Ed. I like messing with him though, because he doesn't listen to me. I'm a club owner, and he doesn't. He just does what he wants. Doesn't listen to me anyway, which is the way most of them there are. So
That's it.
because I'm the maintenance man. I'm the maintenance man
That's
at
right.
the club. That's all I really.
As long as you
do.
know that.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah as long as I know my place.
That's right.
So yeah, it's fantastic to. But no, it's been so long since I've been on stage. I don't even know if I want to anymore.
So you don't do any of the Sunday hangouts like.
I'm there for the hangout.
But you don't do any-
But I usually leave once that's over at 7:00 because my wife gave me a curfew. And no, I'm kidding.
You're not kidding.
I do what I want.
She's just not listening.
I do what
so
I want.
He can say what he wants.
And then you sleep,
And then
not in the same bed. when You
Right.
get
Well,
home.
I sleep with one eye open anyway.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
don't.
that's fair.
Nope.
She's definitely not listening. Then.
She never listens when I talk on or off the air.
Oh.
So it's okay. I can say whatever I want because it's just nobody hears it. Eventually, one of her friends will
I was gonna
report
say,
back to her
till that
because
happens.
I'm sure she has a network of spies.
Mhm.
Because I actually think every female has a network of spies when they're in a relationship.
Makes sense.
Is
Why are
that
you
is
looking
that
at
true?
me?
Well, I'm trying to get some confirmation
I
on
don't
this.
think
Yeah, you're not allowed to confirm. I know.
I mean, I
It's
don't think
okay.
it's true.
Just blink twice.
I don't.
You don't have to say so over the air. I know you can get in trouble with the whole group if you tell any of the secrets. Oh, that's right.
She did
Somebody's
blink.
Facebook Live.
She did blink.
I blinked because I had to blink.
I thought so.
Excuses.
I thought so.
Mhm.
Just secret safe with me.
That's right.
Except it's going out over the air. So so now we know. That's what this show is all about: is discovering new secrets that people have, and just rambling about nonsense for 2 hours a day.
Well, we're off to a good start with the rambling on the
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least it's not the potty talk anymore.
Mhm.
So what else you got going on? You were going to announce some secret shows.
Yeah,
and,
so
we
kind of
got off
said
on
that.
a tangent.
That's all right. I kind of said that.
Did you actually say it? Because I
yeah.
wasn't paying attention.
That's all right. That's all right. You'll see it when it comes out, and I'll be back in here talking about it. But I know that Rocky's, Amy, just confirmed today that we're allowed to use her place.
Cool.
That I don't want to say it wrong, but at the Mudlick Tavern or something.
Yeah, you don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to say that one wrong. 'Cause
Yeah.
that could go a lot of different
Yeah,
ways.
but they're in the process of going ahead and confirming. I talked to their head chef, and he's working all the details out, but it sounds like they're going to be on board for it. And
It's
then
just a bunch of locals that we want to do.
And,
Yeah.
and as far as your guests are concerned, are you doing like local comics or?
there will be some local comics. There will be, I think Brian Swinehart's going to do it when he comes back from LA. I don't want to say anybody else who I'm going to ask yet until I kind of get there.
But it's going to kind of be a little bit of
It's going to be
everything.
spread
It's
out.
not
Yeah, I
just
don't want
going
to
to be
just have
comics.
just the local people here because I don't want to get burnt out. And
Is it just going to be comics? Or are you going to?
No,
like
there will be
people?
other people on there too.
Okay.
It'll be just kind
really
of
anybody.
Anybody that
that's
says,
interesting.
all right.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
This
fine.
is my this is my lawn mowing guy. He cuts
Yeah.
my grass.
Yeah.
It's a real interesting show today.
Yep.
No, it won't be like that. But I'm filming a documentary for Brian Swinehart. Do you know Brian?
I don't believe I
He was
do.
just at Wiley's at the end of December.
Okay, I missed it.
Of course, that was a show that I was on. So thanks for booking me, Don. I appreciate your help.
Hey, I don't book anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't you dare spread the rumor that I book anybody.
Well, that's not what you said before this show started. When I was under your never mind.
Some secrets you got to keep.
Yeah. But I'm filming a documentary for him he's from Covington, Ohio, and he's living in LA now, and it's about kind of how he came up and how he became a comic, stuff like that. So
well, there's a lot of humor to be found in Covington, Ohio.
I can't say that I've been there a lot.
I've been there several times. It's it's a lovely
Don't they have
place
the big liquor
to
store
drive.
there?
It's a lovely place to drive through. They have a what?
Don't they have that big ass liquor store? Excuse me, the big liquor store.
You just said ass liquor on the air, by the way. You got to let some slide if they're funny, just so you know.
My bad.
You did, didn't you? I totally missed it.
I did.
Hey,
When you put it,
You gotta point these things out when you say
Oh my god, I totally missed
Oh goodness.
it. You're never coming on again.
it. You almost did it. You almost got through
I
it.
almost got through it.
It's only been 15
I think Cody did it last time.
Yeah, I think so. I've done it before. It happens. Actually, I did it this time too. I was just repeating. I'm like, a monkey. I
Yeah,
just
that's
repeat
okay.
what I see.
FCC don't care as long as you're repeating it.
Right, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
You just-
'Cause-
It's a direct quote.
Exactly.
right. Because I did
Quotes
air
on a
quotes.
radio show. You
Hey,
did
quote.
it.
Yeah.
Because I said you
Yes.
said it, so that gets him in
Exactly.
trouble twice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. Just tell him it's fake news. You'll get clean. It's fine.
That's what his weight is. It's fake news.
So you're going to have this potty mouth as your co-host on this.
Oh
show.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's what he brings to the table.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good because
That's about the only thing I bring. I mean,
If it's a YouTube show, you don't have to worry about the FCC.
Yeah,
and all that crap,
yeah.
So.
No, they'll just pull your video and shut down your channel. It'll be all good.
Yeah.
Right,
Did you see?
right, that's
Did you
fine.
see YouTube's changing their content? Like their not their content. Well, I know you've heard about this, where they're changing their partner monetizing rules.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I just heard about it today. They let me know they're not gonna.
I don't know.
They're
I
not
don't
gonna
have
partner
enough
with me
viewers or
anymore.
listeners to monetize anything.
Yeah, I don't either now. Like I did before. Like now they're changing. Like you have to have so many hours of viewership and 1,000 subscribers before that you can partner with them to make money. So they're gonna weed out a lot of people that
Wow.
they're paying.
Wow. That's
So they're basing it off of is it based off of a full video watch, or if they watch half of the video?
I
then
think
that
it's just
counts as
like your
however long-
total amount of videos, how much they're watched. So it doesn't matter if one video gets nothing, as long as your total amount of time they're watching the video, it equals so many hours.
Right, but so you know how Facebook, if you're scrolling through a feed and you watch 5 seconds of a video, it counts as one view for the entire
Yeah.
video. Is it the same deal?
I don't
if
think
you watch
so.
30 seconds of the video, then it counts.
I don't think so. I think it's how long they
Specifically,
actually tune in.
how
Yeah.
long you watch.
It's their
that.
analytics now will break down. I have an 18-minute video on there that I filmed for a Christmas episode,
Right.
and it'll say the main amount of viewership is 9 minutes.
Mhm.
It's they watched half of it or
Right.
something, or the majority, because that means if somebody clicks on it and then it closes off right away, that's going to kill that time. Do you know what I mean?
Whereas
But-
if they sit there and watch all of it or all but 15 seconds, of it,
Right.
then you're pretty much good to go.
yeah,
I'm with
Yeah.
you.
exactly. So
you
another
ever
way
have
that,
anybody actually watch?
well, I mean, the people that are in it,
Well,
Yeah.
they got that going.
And
Well,
their friends,
I've
family.
watched all of Just Call Me Rants. I think I've watched every episode of that.
Did you like that?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
There's some stuff I look back now when I watch it, and there's stuff I don't like about it at all.
That's natural.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've done in my past that I'm ashamed of.
think it's
That
called-
might be a little different.
I think that's called.
well, I needed the money.
Can't fault you for there.
I think that's called growing up. Maybe somewhere in there.
Well, this
Is
was only
it?
about a
Well, now
year
you
ago
gotta
for me,
go
though, with the
bring
show.
growing
so.
up into my radio show. It has
sorry,
no place here.
Sorry, philosophical debate in a comedy show. I forgot we can't do that.
Grown-ups have no place
too
on this
highball.
show.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
All right, I think it's it's time for something anyway. It's time to. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but it's time to do something. All right, we're going to be back here shortly. Here's a little Potter's Field, Devour the Crow.
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
Shut up, Rance. We're back. All right. We're
bad.
back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with Ranson Karr, Joey Salmons, Potty Mouth, Ashlee Duncan, and Ryan Guffey. Thank you. I wouldn't have got it. I'm just kidding.
Not a big deal. It's my first time.
It's all I can do to remember my name most days. So we have been talking about all kinds of crap. Rance got me in trouble with Facebook Live, as usually happens.
Yes.
You know, that's why I love Facebook Live, because there's no better way to put your foot in your mouth.
Now, see, if you would have put yours on, then you probably wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, because I'd have known. I'd been like, oh crap, I'm live and I'm an idiot. So
exactly.
I'm probably going to say it anyway because I'm an idiot. That's what idiots do.
I agree.
Yeah.
With all of the above.
Yeah, I appreciate your support. I really do. Yes. That's why I book you. You're very positive.
I'm very honest.
Yeah.
Like I told these guys,
Well, I was gonna
listen,
say
I'm like the
positive.
leader of the band. You guys don't talk unless I tell you to talk. Because I'm the leader of the band. So
Well, yeah. Somebody's got to make the rules.
this is news to her.
Somebody's got to make the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Every now and then you just got to say, "Shh, men are talking."
And then get your fingers broken.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I'm on the other side of the room, so
She's got stuff she'll throw.
that's probably true. She'll probably pick stuff up from the studio. She'll rip the microphone off of there
I
and
got
throw
lots
it
of
at
stuff
me.
in my purse I can throw. It's fine.
That's good. As long as you come prepared.
Yes.
So
We
you-
asked her to come because we kidnapped her in the movie and wanted people to know that she wasn't really harmed. You know?
Yes.
You can. It's
And I
blink
get called
twice.
a
if
bad
you-
name like 1,000 times.
Yes.
I can't say the bad name.
She's not
While
like
you're
Joe.
filming, or is
Yeah.
it?
And while
Just
we
random.
weren't.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But-
So it
That's
kind of crosses over. It goes from filming to real life.
Yeah.
Right.
It kind of fits.
So
They got
you're
comfortable with it.
so you're filming a reality show, is what?
Yeah. And then
There it is.
the funny part is she just went with it. She just was like, I don't like you guys keep calling me that. And then as it kept going, she just went, eh.
My mom ends up calling me that.
Yeah, her mom did. Yeah, her mom's got a part in the movie too.
So in the movie, she called. That's
In the movie, she's my mom, and then she decided to call me that too, as he told me. I wasn't there, so I didn't know.
So you guys got to talk into that microphone because it keeps getting real. There you go, right up there. Right up there. Like I said,
hey
cheek
there.
to cheek,
And
cheek to
actually,
cheek.
I don't want it to be cheek to cheek.
Yep. It's okay.
So what about the man flu?
What about the let's get
man
started
flu.
on some news. Well, we will let me see if I can find the man flu here. We will get started on some news. Hey, it's the first news story. Look at that. See, I told you I didn't lie.
Good stuff.
The much debated phenomenon of man flu may have some basis in fact. Researchers have said a Canadian study. Well, it's Canadian, so we can just that's fake
Throw that
news.
Throw that right out the window.
A Canadian
Fake
study
news.
was carried out to determine whether men really do experience worse symptoms than women, or whether it is just a myth. Dr. Kyle Sue, which, that's up in the air. Man's first name and his last name Sue, so that could go either way.
But how's
Sure.
it spelled?
S-U-E.
Okay,
Sue. Yeah.
fair enough.
Did you think he was Native American?
Or, Eastern Asian. I don't know. Man.
Oh, okay.
Could be a bunch of different things.
Dr. Kyle Sue, a clinical assistant professor, is assistant professor, so does that even count? Anyway, at Memorial University of Newfoundland, suggested men may not be exaggerating symptoms, but have weaker immune responses to viral respiratory viruses. In what is thought to be the first study of its kind, he analyzed relevant research and found evidence that adult men have a higher risk of hospital admission and higher rates of influenza associated deaths compared with women, regardless of underlying disease. So there you go.
It's
That
definitely real.
Men
It's
are weaker.
so fake.
Men
You
are
guys are
weaker.
just big
That's
babies.
what I get out of this art. We're big babies. We are
Child-
weaker. We have a
Childbirth is
weaker-
almost as bad as the man flu. It's not quite as bad, but
Wow.
let me tell you, the man flu is serious.
Apparently, passing a kidney stone is worse than childbirth.
For a man, of course.
In general. Although men are more likely to
Well,
get them.
here's the difference. You don't have to keep that kidney
What?
stone and raise it for 18 years.
That's
That's
true.
true.
So the
childbirth is a pain that
continues,
so
whereas kidney
it's-
stone's only a short term. That's fair. I can give you that.
Right. See,
That's a
there you
good
go.
point.
There you go. Yeah. if you name your kidney stone and have to change its diapers for like the first year you keep it around, and you keep it for 18 years, and it still asks for
And you
money.
have to,
when
and you have to, I was
send
going
it
to say, you have to pay for it.
then okay, fine. It's kind of painful, but I still wouldn't. I don't know.
So you're saying-
I've never had a child.
So you're saying at
I've never
37 I
given
shouldn't be
birth.
asking my dad to borrow $20?
Probably not.
My bad, Dad.
Yeah, no, that's no, you're good. If he's dumb enough to give you money,
Yeah.
keep going.
He doesn't have any money.
Well, there you go. Because you took it all.
That's I doubt it.
See, that's it. So man flu is a real thing now. So according
No.
to Dr. Kyle,
Not real.
It definitely is.
That's a guy that
Dr.
made it.
Seuss said so.
Yes.
Did you say Dr. Seuss?
Yeah. I should have.
It would be more believable
Yeah,
if
that's
Dr.
right.
Seuss said it. No, I don't believe it either. Actually, you're in good company. I think it's crap. I think that just men are wimps.
They are.
Yeah.
All of them. Sorry.
Exactly.
Not sorry.
Because, I mean, even when we're well, we can't make our own damn sandwich. We have to. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
See, I'm married. I actually, I do most of the housework.
Yeah.
Actually, see, we got into this. It wasn't really an argument. Every now and then, I let the dishes sit to see how long she gets tired of watching them before she will actually wash them. And this is what happened last Sunday. Cracked me up. She went in. We got up in the morning. She went into the kitchen, and she first thing I heard was, "There's not anything to cook breakfast with." And I thought, well, I guess you better wash something. She was in that kitchen for 4 hours cleaning. Never touched a dish.
So she cleaned everything.
That was her. She cleaned
everything
everything
but
else.
the
I'm
dishes.
not allowed
That
to
was
do
her
dishes.
sending me that was her sending me a message right there. And you know what? She spent 4 hours cleaning that kitchen. It took me 40 minutes to do the dishes. I think that's a win for me.
Call that a win. That's fair.
Do you have a dishwasher?
Me. I don't like dishwashers because
don't really
dishwashers,
get
in my
clean.
experience, you have to wash the dishes before you put them in, and it's just it's
you
a
rinse
waste of
them
time.
off. You don't have to wash them.
See, that's a man talking. It's you know you 'cause-
No, yours is the germaphobe
that's lazy.
talking.
That's a germaphobe that's still lazy because you put them in the dishwasher. All you get back, if you had dirt on the plate, you're just going to get back heated up dirt. I mean, you can probably just flick it off, but still, it's there. We're getting a phone.
But it's cleaner. Answer it.
Call right now.
Answer that phone.
Answer the phone. Let's see. It never works anyway.
you know you can call in.
This is life. You're on the air. See, I told you, it never works any. Is there somebody there?
Hi, I'm calling for Dr. Seth Gordon.
Who's that? Who's that?
My name's Kristen Hetler. I'm a special investigator. I was calling for Dr. Seth Gordon.
Oh, I believe you have the wrong number, and I'm not going to mess with a special investigator. This is a live radio show right now.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Hey,
Take
no
care.
problem.
We should have definitely messed with
That
her.
could have been.
That was Dr. Sue. Dr. Sue was upset we were talking about
That's
Dr.
what it
Yes.
Sue.
was. I am
And
so
therefore-
sorry. I hung up on Dr. Sue.
Wow.
Who
the
are they
special
looking for?
investigator.
Jeff?
As long as it's not me, I'm all right.
Dr. Sue
Yeah.
called the special
looking
investigator
for
to
Ranson
call
Karr.
us to put the fear in us
Man.
so that
Yeah,
way we
he's
don't
going.
talk about them
Man,
anymore.
that is.
That escalated.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. Yeah, we
That-
were being
That
investigated.
really got out of
with it.
That
hand.
might have been the FCC. Way to go.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Way to drop a cuss word.
Oh, man, that is terrible. So,
Getting back to the whole dishwasher.
getting back to the dishwasher.
So,
thing.
so as another married man, when my wife and I
My
first
condolences.
Yeah. When we first moved in together, we were in a house that, like you, didn't have a dishwasher. And we were actually the opposite way. My wife came from a family that didn't mind if the dishes sat for a little bit. And I came from a family that, no, you don't want that stuff to sit. So I would actually get on my wife about letting, the dishes set for a little while, and she'd always have the same answer for me. If it bugs you, go
Wash
take
it.
it. Yeah, go take it.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
but you're...
How long you
So-
been married?
About 2.5 years now.
Oh, just wait,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
wait.
I know.
You haven't
I've been
seen
told.
anything, dude.
Sky-
I've been told.
Skydiving,
Give it
I
another
guess,
2.5,
it's better.
3 years, and then it'll start getting good. I know. We don't have kids yet either, so
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, that's
Just,
just avoid
Yeah.
most of that. Actually, just avoid physical contact,
That-
just for
that's-
the danger that it might happen by accident.
No, yeah.
yeah. Marriage is great.
Love you, honey.
Yeah. So she's listening now, right?
Maybe. I don't know. If so, I'll find out later.
He'll know.
See, what would be really funny is if my wife was listening at her desk at work and had the whole office
Oh,
listening to
that'd
this
be the
crap.
greatest thing ever.
I would be, this is why I sleep with one eye open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because eventually I'm a dead man. I'm going to have to go back to wearing my chastity belt just to keep things away.
Oh goodness.
Back to some news. So, stop talking about my home life and ruin my. It's already done. The Los Angeles Superior Court judge is set to begin trying to sort out tangled claims over who gets the remains and belongings of the notorious killer Charles Manson. The victor will lay claim to thousands of dollars worth of Manson, quote, murderabilia. That's a wonderful thing to have. And songs the killer wrote that have been performed by the Beach Boys and Guns N' Roses. I really can't see a Charlie Manson song performed by the Beach Boys.
Yeah,
I know. When I heard that, I didn't know that till he died. I heard that. And I was like,
man.
wow.
The heir will also gain potentially lucrative rights to Manson's writings and images. Manson, 83, died in November in a hospital in Corcoran State Prison in California, 48 years after orchestrating 9 grisly murders by his cult followers. That is probably the most weird way to say grisly murders. Grisly murders. Like it's, yay!
You know what
Grisly
bothers me
murders.
the most about Charles Manson?
What's that?
The thing that bothers me the most is that he gets girls more than I get girls. Like, how does he get, like, they show up to the prison and want to marry him?
Yeah.
Some people are into that. It's a thing.
Listen, I know you killed somebody, but I just love you. Like, right, listen, Ranson, you're terrible.
I guess if you marry them while they're in prison, you have a better chance of survival. If you marry a murderer, a mass murderer, and they're not in prison, you're going to go eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're still in prison and you know there's no way of them getting out, you're safe. Go for it.
There's a new show where it's about love when people get out of jail, and these people are like writing to them while they're in jail, and then they get out and have relationships with like killers and all that, and it's so weird.
That is weird. I just don't get that at all. That's a whole nother level of desperate. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
like,
pretty
just
much.
eat a bunch of Tide and get out of here.
Oh my god!
Are we going to discuss that?
Yes.
Why
how is
wouldn't
that
we?
a thing? Really?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to generalize and say that kids are stupid, but I'm going to have to generalize
really,
and say
though.
that kids are stupid.
God, I don't.
They're pretty.
Like
Anything that pretty must taste good.
I don't like. I know. So you know that they now make water that looks similar to that, right? Like it's wrapped in seaweed or stuff like that, and it's supposed to be better
that
than
clear
like
ball thing.
Yeah. So like,
Oh yeah, okay.
so
I know what you
like,
mean.
I guess like is maybe there's a connection between like
No,
oh,
there's
can you-
not.
but, like,
No,
but that's my
they're
point.
just stupid.
Like
No, they're
not,
just
like,
dumb.
One's water, one is detergent. They don't taste the same. One's gonna taste like crap and probably do damage to you, and the other's
They
water.
died,
It's good
so
for you.
yes.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the damage has been done before they did that.
Yeah,
Because
that's
there's already
Yeah,
something.
does
that's-
get to a
Screw yeah.
point.
No.
I pulled my kid in yesterday and I was like, hey, I just want to make sure that you're not this stupid, you know? And I was like,
or at least let me get the camera.
yeah, this is YouTube gold if you're going to do
Conversations
it.
you never thought you'd have to have with your
right.
kid.
I did.
Like,
And he was like, why would I do that? I'm like, just look at me and just tell me you're not going to. He's like, oh, why would I do that? I was like,
just say
the
those
answer
words.
is you're not going to do that.
See,
He's like,
well,
no.
the problem is when we were kids and we said a bad word, we got our mouth washed out with soap.
Yeah.
And now that that hasn't been done. See, we're not allowed. Parents aren't
Well, it is
allowed to
now.
do that anymore.
Yeah. And
so
so-
these idiots are taking it upon themselves
to actually wash their own mouths out
Right,
with some,
right.
yeah.
Well, it's kind of like parkour. I always say parkour is just the result of a generation of kids that never got to watch Wile E. Coyote. We are depriving the kids of these things that are natural. They're going to need for survival. Don't eat soap. Don't jump off a cliff. Those are those are
Pretty simple steps.
Right, simple
Basically,
thing.
what you're saying is Darwinism at its finest.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We need to kind of remold the 10 Commandments into something else for these young kids so they
Thou
know what
shalt
not
not
to,
eat Tide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thou shalt not eat Tide Pods.
Yeah, that's just it's pretty stupid.
I seen
It's
on
just-
Facebook something about they're actually locking up the Tide Pods
I went to
like
Walmart. Oh,
yeah.
razors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You have to
Well,
sign
they-
for
they-
your
they-
ID.
they've been doing that at a lot of stores for a long time because they're a high theft item. I don't know why. But
Laundry
the Tide
detergent.
Pods, laundry detergent,
sell 'em.
was a very high theft. Yeah, they were selling them on the
black
street.
market, huh?
I went
Yeah.
when I
Black
worked at
market
Walgreens,
Tide
they did.
Pods.
Hey man, you got some
See, now
Tide.
I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie. I'm
Get that Tide
surprised.
Pod, man.
So you're anti. I'm guessing you have a washer and a dryer.
Yes.
So you're
Otherwise, my clothes would really
anti-dishwasher.
stink.
You're anti-dishwasher, but pro-washer and dryer. You could go down to the river and wash them yourself.
That's true. I could beat them on a rock.
So what's the distinction between the two? I'm just curious.
Well, because a washing machine for your clothes actually gets clothes clean. Because it agitates. You don't want your dishes agitated.
Well,
You'll have broken pieces
you got
of
the
plates when you're
you got the
done.
little spinny thing.
And
in
you
it.
can put your dishes in the clothes washer. I wouldn't recommend it because there's not
No, but I'm
much
saying
left of
I'm
it.
saying the dishwasher's got the little spinny thing that moves the water around and whatnot. And,
yeah,
and not to mention
and
the-
it only hits one side of a plate.
well, it's
Usually, you know.
but it's also the dishwasher itself gets up to what 180, 190. I mean, when you touch it, like the
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well,
it's got to kill some of the
Tuning
bacteria.
into Bob Vila's.
I'm not saying it doesn't kill the bacteria. I'm just saying if
What are
I'm
you
going to
talking
eat
about?
if I'm going to eat off a plate that still has dirty stuff on it from yesterday, I'm going to at least want the flavor.
I cannot argue with that. You have me there.
Tide Pods. That should be it.
Yeah. So what's that?
So they just don't eat Tide Pods, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Then don't wash your dishes with them either.
If I come here next time, where's the cookies at, man? Like, you used to give me cookies when I came. That's the whole reason I came today. I was getting cookies.
I'm on a diet, and so is everyone else.
You should.
Actually, the cookies was a limited time joke.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of a.
Well, guys, this is my last show.
You don't have
Don
to tell me. You
agrees.
don't have to tell me.
All because I brought potty mouth over here.
Oh,
Goodness.
it's always a fun show. Do we want to do another
Yeah.
another news
Yeah, let's
story
do one
here?
more. Why not?
Let's see. What's this? Nah, that one's not that good. It's about somebody winning the lottery. If it's not somebody in pain, I don't care to read it.
Or if it's not you winning the lottery.
Exactly. That I would read. Let's see. The new year could bring a major scare. The expected crash of an 18,740-pound Chinese space station headed toward planet Earth. And researchers haven't been able to pinpoint exactly when and where this event will likely happen. Tiangong-1, a Chinese space station that launched into Earth's orbit in September 2011, was predicted, in essence, to fall out of space around January 2018. So it's coming.
Hopefully not today.
According to an October forecast by researchers at the Aerospace Corporation, Chinese space officials announced in 2016 that they lost contact with the spacecraft and expected it to crash back to Earth between late 2017 and mid-2018. Researchers have since determined that the space station is expected to re-enter somewhere in the area between 43 degrees north and 43 degrees south. That's a pretty broad spectrum of where that's going to land. And while that location is in the middle of the ocean, it's possible that fragments will land nearby in populated areas. The space station's name means Heavenly Palace. So the Heavenly Palace is crashing down upon us. Is that a sign? Is that?
I think they should try to direct it towards North Korea. Like, whoops, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Didn't mean for our space station to fall on you there, Kim
I'm more
Jong-un.
confused that, they can track us all over the place, but they can't find a space station.
Well,
They're not looking that direction. They're
Right?
too busy tracking us.
Yeah.
I have my thing is so they've lost contact with the space station. Is anyone on the space station? Like
I'm guessing not. That would be
Well,
really
yeah.
bad news
They
for them
aren't
if they
anymore.
that's what I'm
were.
Yeah,
saying.
right.
Like
Yeah.
we don't know where it is. We
Hopefully
can't
they have
contact
parachutes.
We'll
them.
find out when they get back. We'll dig through.
Yikes! When did you say that launched again?
When did that launch? September 2011, I think. Let me see. September 2011.
Okay, I heard it's September 2001. I was like, what now?
Yeah,
Chinese
Yeah.
are doing what while what happens?
yeah. They've been busy.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, that's where we are about to be.
Hit.
The apocalypse is upon.
Thanks for
us.
ruining
I've
my
been
day. I'll
saying
be
it
looking
for
at the
years.
sky the rest of the day now just to make sure I'm safe.
That's it.
That laugh. Oh gosh.
That's what happens. See, well, we've been wondering how the world was going to end. Now we know.
Now we know.
Now we know.
By a
Chinese
heavenly-
space station.
By a heavenly
Yeah.
palace.
Yes, by the Heavenly Palace is going to crash down upon us.
On
Who
the
names it that? Like, why would you name it that?
I don't know. Why not? Is it any better than Sputnik?
or Challenger.
Or
like,
Challenger.
Yeah, like
Trump
Yeah,
better lay
that'd
off all
be
those
close.
Big
Yeah,
Macs
like,
so he can run.
what are we challenging?
I
There's
did
nobody.
not just say that.
There's
Sorry.
nobody else up there. What are we? Are we challenging ourselves? Like,
I'd say that one was pretty challenged
like
on its
you,
own.
you want to?
Damn.
You want? You want to
Couldn't
know?
help
You
myself.
want to know what were good names for space shuttles?
Two.
Apollo,
I said
Gemini, like stuff
did
that's
you
like
say that?
either Greek mythology /
Yeah, I know.
constellation-y ish type. Like that actually has some like substance to it.
Yeah, but there's so much
You look
named
thrilled.
after mythology. You know? Like all
I
the
know, that's
star
what it is.
signs. Are you guys getting bored over there?
No, no.
I'm sorry.
We got like 5 conversations. Remember, we're on the air, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're just
Okay, we're all supposed to be engaged together.
Of
Let's
course.
get this together.
all right.
Okay,
Focus.
sorry.
Make it happen.
like cats.
Yep. A Florida man was arrested Friday
Oh, God.
after he reportedly punched. Florida.
Yeah,
news.
there
know
it is.
Florida
Yeah, I know
news.
where this is going.
Yep, a Florida man was arrested Friday after he reportedly punched an ATM because it, quote, was giving him too much money during an incident in November. Michael Joseph Oleksic. That's, yeah. I'd punch something, too, if they called me that. 23 years old, was charged with criminal mischief after Wells Fargo requested Cocoa Police. That's just Cocoa Police. I'm not going to go there. Requested Cocoa Police press charges against the man. Law enforcement told Florida Today that Oleksic was seen on surveillance footage standing at the ATM pummeling the electronic teller's touchscreen on November 29th. He then reportedly called Wells Fargo and apologized for the damage done to the teller machine, but said he was angry, quote, angry that the ATM was giving him too much money and he didn't know what to do. Alexic's actions caused at least $5,000 in damage. Well, now he knows what to do with
Well,
that
hopefully
money.
you got $5,000.
Yep,
Can I-
now he knows exactly what to do.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Absolutely. This is what we're
All
all
right.
about here.
So you're at an ATM machine.
No, I'm not.
Hypothetically,
Radio. Oh, okay.
hypothetically, you're
I
at an
didn't know it was a
ATM,
hypothetical
and it
question.
just starts spitting money out at you, and your first inclination is, I'm going to punch this. Wouldn't your first inclination be, I don't know, gather the money?
I guess depends on how much you've had to drink.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I usually punch ATM machines hoping that it does.
Right.
that.
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
exactly.
Like, you
Multiple
punch it and you hope it
times.
gives you
Yeah,
more
if
money.
it eats my card, I'm going to punch.
Yeah,
Right?
put your hand
If it gives me money, I'm going to say,
Yeah.
thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Keep coming.
Yeah.
May I have
May I
another?
have another?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I usually don't punch anything that gives me money.
Exactly.
You know,
Maybe
I
you
might,
I kinda
talk nice
afraid
to
of
it,
Right,
give it what it
exactly,
wants.
exactly.
Some other stuff.
you know, I mean, when I was a kid, I was kind of a bully. I would punch things
Until
they
it
gave
gives
me
you
money.
money. Yeah, but now you've
You know?
learned.
But now I've learned that words hurt just as bad.
Exactly. Used to.
That is just terrible. I'm going to hell. As soon as the heavenly palace crashes down, I'm going to hell. We have time for one more news story, and but do I really want to? A man who was reportedly spotted running around a restricted area of Miami International Airport runway on Monday has been detained. Woo-hoo. Miami-Dade police received a call about a man wearing a red trench coat running across the airport's tarmac. Police have a person found. There's a quote. Okay, that's the Miami International Airport spokesperson said police have found a person wandering on the airfield near Perimeter Road and have them in custody. Law enforcement reportedly said the man was dropped off at the airport and got lost before jumping a fence. Security from both sides responded. The man won't be charged for his actions. Really? He won't be charged for his actions. Why, if you got lost in an airport, would your first thought would be, I'm going to
Jump on
jump
the
the
runway?
fence and run straight
He's-
toward this plane?
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't jump onto an airport that also shares a military base, because there are some of those that are out
Yeah.
there. And let's just say his experience wouldn't have been too pleasant.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
No.
Why was he wearing a red trench coat?
That's
Yeah,
the
why was
question.
that so
Why
awkward?
Was he
wasn't
only
there?
wearing a red trench
Right,
coat?
because this is Miami, Florida.
Right.
Why would anybody in Miami, Florida be wearing a
And-
coat, let alone a red trench coat,
Yeah.
on a tarmac?
on a tarmac, running
How did
towards a
he get that
plane
lost?
because he got lost?
If you're outside,
See,
you're
there are
probably
more
lost.
questions
Where did he get
than
lost
answers
from?
to this.
How did he get
Exactly.
onto the tarmac? Because generally speaking, there's a fence
He
that
ju-
goes.
he jumped the fence.
But isn't there generally barbed? Or I guess he could have used the trench coat.
That's why. He had
Yeah,
to-
that's why.
there
it is.
go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
There it
yeah.
is.
Protect him from the razor wire.
Hopefully he had something
There you go.
underneath.
Or he was a time traveler. I don't know. Quantum leap style.
Could have been. Could have been.
Oh, that just
there,
aced you.
It
Yeah.
did. Yeah. No, I'm-
Yeah, that's
quantum physics or something
the
like
old man.
that. something quantum.
So it's something quantum something.
Quantum
I've heard
what?
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Some kind of scientific stuff.
Or James Bond, you know.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A red trench coat.
Yeah, something like that.
Something.
Solid.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So anyway, That's it. That's it for the news. I got no more left in me.
Okay.
I got plenty of news left, but I got to save some for Trace. Trace Shuttleworth is coming up next, so that'll be
a good time.
That'll be an event. But we love you, Trace. It's okay. You're in good company, I guess, out there. All right, Rance, do you have any last minute things to plug before we kick you the hell out of here?
I got I got a breast cancer awareness fundraiser coming up.
Oh, I was going to say thought you said you had breast cancer. Go ahead.
I might on the 27th at Bojangles in West Carrollton, and then the 2nd I'll be at Wiley's, and the 3rd I'll be at an Eagles in Covington. Those are my stand-up plugs.
Back in Covington.
Yeah, that's where we're filming that documentary DVD show for him. It's going to be all kind of combined. So, but he's let me do time. So
cool.
That's what's up, Don.
That is what's up.
Yes.
Joey, do you want to cuss one more time?
No, sir.
Okay. Just thought I'd put it out there. Ashlee, any last thoughts other than to hell with you and your man flu? Is that?
Yeah, that's
okay?
Basically
Okay,
it.
that's
sums it up right there.
All right. Well, that's actually the title of this episode: "The hell with you and your man flu."
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. Always a pleasure to have you. It's good to see you again, Ashlee. Good to meet you, Mr. Potty Mouth.
You won't be back.
No, it's all good. If I didn't have people doing things they shouldn't on this show, I wouldn't be here. So, all right, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Are you sticking around?
No, I think that'll actually do it for me as well.
Okay, see, I chased another one out. So we're
gotta keep things fresh.
Ryan Guffey. It was good. See, I remember that.
There it is.
It's good to have you in the studio. I hope your show goes well.
I appreciate it.
So when's your show going to start?
I don't know quite yet. I got to do a couple more shadows. Although time-wise, potentially Tuesdays at 5.
Cool.
Potentially, we'll see. So
cool. That's a good time. I used to do my shows around
drive time. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Well, welcome to WWSU.
Thank you.
You'll never have another as fun experience shadowing anyone else.
I can believe it.
Know.
I can believe it.
All right. Well, that is it. We're going to take a little break. And where the hell am I? We're going to take a little break, and I'll be back with Trace Shuttleworth.
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We're back for another hour of just the best time you can have with your pants on.
With my pants on this time.
And Trey Shuttleworth is in the studio with me. It's been a little while.
It has. What's happening, Dayton? How you doing, Don?
I'm doing good. I think the last time you were here was with Dave Prague. And
yeah.
Before he moved, you actually chased him out of town.
Was it Dave or was it with Scott Brennan? John Scott Brennan.
Well, you were on with Dave once, I think, and then you were on with...
Yeah.
Okay.
I drink a lot, so time kind of blurs.
Yeah, I drink a lot on the air. So,
I'll toast to that.
That's not really water, Trace, but you got the wrong one. That's my vodka.
I know, it's good vodka.
Doug Levis is going to be sitting in with us and throwing his 2 cents in every now and then because he's got nothing better to do, apparently, than to sit in here amidst this nonsense.
Come on down.
What's up, Doug? How you been?
Pretty good. Just living life. Just waiting for my show on Saturdays from 10 to 11. Just waiting for that.
It's Wednesday, and you already start waiting on your show. That's the only thing you're just so eager for that show. I understand. I
just don't care about college. I just wait for my show.
I understand. I definitely understand that. I've been doing this show for 3 years, and I am so excited every Wednesday at 2:00 when I get to go off the air and forget about it for another week.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I love doing the show. It's I was thinking earlier today that of all the things I do in my life, about 95% of them I'm doing against my will.
Yeah. I do that. I get up every
Yeah,
morning.
I get up every morning when I don't want to. I go to work where I don't want to, but I have to because they pay me, and that's the only way I can keep my house and.
You should try selling blood and semen. I've been doing that for about a month, and it.
Oh, you can sell that?
Yeah,
we're giving it away for free.
Well, I got a vasectomy in '89, so I know I'm going to get a talking to about hey, there's nothing in here.
Yeah. But I mean, even just a lot of the club stuff. I just don't feel like I don't even feel like getting on stage anymore. I haven't been on stage in like 4 or 5 months.
Me too. I don't think I've done a show since. Like maybe July or August.
So, yeah, we're about in the same boat. Now, I got up in October for the Dead Comedian Society at Wiley's, and I got to be John Belushi for an evening.
See, I couldn't even get my ass out for that.
I still have a battle scar from that.
Oh, nice.
That's what happens when you roll off the stage.
Yeah, well, live and learn.
I was right there. That was commitment. I was right there on the edge, and I'm thinking, if I roll one more time, I'm flopping over the side. And I was like, yep, I'm on.
Scars tell great stories. Let it fly.
But that's the last time I've been up on stage. So the last time I've been on stage doing my own material was probably, I think, September. I think mid-September I got up and did one.
Yeah, I need to get back up. I've written a few and retooled a few, and
see, I got a decent set. I'm kind of in a lull right now.
Yeah?
I'm trying to. I have to be up Sunday. I'm going up Sunday for Wiley Sunday Comics, my first time in a while, and I'm trying to get a set together, and I've lost my humor. Trace. I've
got a decent set I put together a couple weeks ago.
I've lost my humor. I should probably talk to you after the show.
Yeah. It's people don't realize, that sometimes it is, kind of tough to,
It is.
To, keep it going. I've been doing it now for 4 years, and April will make 5, and You get to that point where you're just like, I need a 3-month break away from people.
Coming up in April is my 4-year mark.
Yeah.
The first time I did a stand-up show at Dayton Funny Bone.
Yeah, that was my first. Yeah. That's a great place to do your first set. I mean,
it is,
especially if you've got people in the audience.
So is Wiley's, because Wiley's Sunday Comics is always a great show.
It is, and it's great to. I feel I can do different stuff at Wiley's than I do at Funny Bone.
Yeah,
I feel like I can get away with just a little bit more.
Proper, and Wiley's is Wiley's is kind of just a laid back, relaxed kind of. That's one of the things I love about Wiley's.
Yeah, kind of like partying in grandma's basement where you can get away with stuff.
Yeah, because mom and dad they'd catch you on stuff. Grandma was she'd let you slide. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So Wiley's is compared to grandma. Now.
Yeah, it's just
that's not a bad thing.
No, I mean. It's like, when I grew up in the, late 70s, early 80s. And at mom and dad's house, mom and dad both partied back then. And you could get away with things at their house that you couldn't get away with anywhere else.
That's true.
Dad would tell us, if you boys are going to do crap like that, you need to stay here at the house. And we're like, free pass. Hello. And, we got a house. Come on over. And, so we got used to, this is how life is. And when we got outside of, Hocking County, and we realized that not everyone has parents as cool as you, dude. Not everyone's parents are just going to whip one out and light it up because you're walking back a road with a beer.
Yeah. And they should. That's
exactly. And, I'd bring Army buddies up from Georgia, and they're like, holy crap, I can't believe how cool your parents are. And that's, if you were going to do anything outside the norm, you could do it mom and dad's basement.
Right.
That's kind of like Wiley's. If you're going to do something just a little bit outside the norm, you can do that at Wiley's. And it's such a great place to especially like practice new material.
Oh, yeah.
It's I did a joke one night about getting busted in the nose. And, so I came up on the stage and had my little bloody rag in my pocket, and the host just freaked out. And it was like, he was like, oh, geez, do you need a minute? And he thought, I got popped in the face by, one of the, rougher broads over in the Oregon district.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, which you can. I mean, I've heard dudes getting jacked up. And no, it's a joke. Just calm down. But again, I don't think I've ever done that joke anywhere but Wiley's.
Yeah.
I'm
not even going to point out you just said but Wiley's.
Yeah.
So every now and then, just got to let that slide
on.
too. Yep.
Butt Wiley's.
Yeah, Butt Wiley's. Got a case of the Butt Wiley's. So, why I'm not even going to. We're not going to talk about the long break for either of us.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a couple of months to sit at home and be away from people and drink and just relax for a minute and breathe and have a life and see your family and pet the cat.
That's a good idea. You want to take over the rest of the show, Doug?
Tap. You're in. We're out.
Yep, we're out. Just talk. Here's some news stories you can go over.
You just go back and just have a few.
Yeah, you got this. So how's your show going? The Levis Effect on Saturdays. What time's that air?
10 to 11 a.m. It's going so far. It's so like my show's so what's happening each week that's kind of tough to talk about, like stuff
it's hard to prepare
previous week. Because I mean, during say the football season, there was 4, 5, 6 different stories just throughout the entire regular season.
Yeah.
Now it's just like now during the playoffs, it's like it's like. Well, that's a new QB rotation, having Bortles and
who's going to the Super Bowl? We want your prediction. Who's going to the Super Bowl?
Well, from the beginning,
Trace doesn't care, but I want your prediction.
My team lost. I'm out. Tap out.
Yeah, I'm about the same way. Pretty much from the start of the playoffs to now, it's just all gone downhill. But from the remaining 4 teams, I want to see. I really want to see the Eagles and the Jaguars go in.
Well, yeah, because the Eagles would win. That's
anyone
but
the cheaters.
Too. That's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah,
just don't want the cheaters.
Yeah, I don't want the. We've had too many Patriots Super Bowls. And too many Patriots football games.
Well, and again, when you can get away with cheating. I mean, what is that? What does that show kids today?
Yeah.
When they just, he deflated balls, but look the other way. Oh, they were reading the signs from across the field the year before that. Slap on the hand, move on.
Yeah, no asterisk by the
asterisk. We did that to Mark McGuire. Do it to
exactly.
Shady.
Yeah, do it to Bill a cheat and
exactly.
could do that. Any other team will probably try and do that, and they'd probably get heavily fined or like games.
No, you know it.
Lost.
See the one of the reasons I don't like the Patriots, and years ago, Patriots were basically nobody thought of them. They weren't really a contender. They weren't really. I mean, they weren't really good for quite some time.
Yeah, they were very bad.
And then the September 11th, and that year they won the Super Bowl, and ever since then they just constant. Yeah. Patriots. It's like, okay, that's fixed. That's fixed. It's just like the Saints going to the Super Bowl after Katrina. It's fixed.
Yeah.
This is my conspiracy minute here on the Life. It's all fixed. Don't bet on the football because you've already lost.
Well, I mean, when I saw Kraft at a game there a couple of weeks ago, it's like it's not even your team. Why are you in this house?
Where was he?
I don't know. It was one of the, not even his team playing, but he was there to watch. It was like, well, why is Bob Kraft in somebody else's stadium? Oh, well, I'm greasing the wheels for later, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Pay attention.
And, I mean, that's the thing about I'm a Pittsburgh fan. I know you're going to hate me for that, but...
I don't care one way or another. I'm an Eagles fan, so...
honestly...
6 and suck
it. So we got two Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, it's just... it was a rough weekend for Pittsburgh fans. Having 6 touchdowns and still losing on Sunday. And then... on Saturday, having Garrett Colby traded to the Astros, and then on Monday having Andrew McCutchen, the face of the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise, be traded to the Giants.
Yeah.
I was just like, after this weekend, I'm like, you know what? If the Penguins could do anything to actually help, at least try and win. Because that will help at least supplement not wanting to go out and cry.
Go to Pittsburgh and jump off the overlook.
Yeah.
Just like after this weekend, I'm like, okay, Penguins, please do something because I don't want to cry. I don't want to have a mental breakdown after this weekend. I'm just ready to get through this weekend.
Oh, so you haven't had one yet. How old are you?
I was going to say, I'm like moments away.
Yeah, at any given point in the day.
I was saying that earlier. It's like, any moment.
Just like a rubber band that's been pulled to snap.
Exactly, and left out in the sun too long, so I'm already a little dry right
now. Yeah, a little crinkly. I could just at any minute.
Much to make me snap these days.
Yeah, snap and hurt your fingers.
Yep, that's why I try not to get too into sports because I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm an Eagles fan like, oh, they won, oh, they lost. I'm not like they lost.
Football's the only thing that I watch.
Used to that.
Yeah, that's the thing is you rarely see any middle ground in terms of like sports fans, because there's either sports fans like you who are like, okay, they won, okay, they lost. It's the thing of that's what happened.
Or they're the ones that are throwing their bowls of popcorn at the TV and cussing at the quarterback.
Like me,
I don't get that excited.
Yeah,
like me, I'm
a lot of people that do.
I'm similar to that, but I don't break anything to that point. But you rarely ever see any more people who are like middle ground who actually pay attention to it, but don't get extreme to it.
Right. See, I used to be more middle ground because I'd love to watch, but now I don't have time. I don't think I've watched but one game this whole past season. It's probably why my team's win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't talk smack before they play, because that's just guaranteed that I'm going to lose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much what happens to the Steelers is everybody was like talking about, oh, we're gonna face the Patriots in the conference championship, and they're like,
I do it anytime I just see a Patriots fan, just hiss at them and just makes them mad.
Yeah, and then like
because that's the sound of the ball deflating.
That's it, and they all know it.
Yep.
And then the Jaguars are like, yeah, you should probably pay attention to us since we did beat you 30-9 last time we faced you.
Can't take any of them for granted.
That's true.
True.
See, I've been wondering if the Eagles happen to go to the Super Bowl, if they win the championship, if they happen to go to the Super Bowl, what's going to happen next season when Carson Wentz is back? What's going to happen with Nick Foles? Are they going to trade him?
I don't know. They both look good this year.
Yeah, they both look pretty good this year. But they tried Nick Foles before, and he did okay for a while, and then kind of tanked.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's like
so
John Kitna always looks good for 2 or 3 games, and then he stinks up a field like no one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Keep both of them. Have one kind of primarily do in the post the regular
But here's the
season.
thing: if you're Nick Foles and you took the team through the playoffs to the Super Bowl, are you going to sit the bench when Carson Wentz is back? Who are they going to put up? Because you got to figure who took them through the season.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's a toss up. What do you do? It's kind of like several years ago, I think it was 2007. Because Donovan McNabb, he used to get if it looked like a losing season, if we got about halfway through the season, it looked like it was going to be a losing season, he would get injured for the rest of the season, and it would be out.
Yeah,
he did that like 3-4 years in a row. Well, he did that to 1 year, and Jeff Garcia came in and took him through the playoffs, almost to the championship.
Yeah, that's the thing about a backup. You got to watch them.
Exactly. And then
sometimes they're
next
prepared.
Year, McNabb was back in as the starting quarterback. They traded Garcia off to Tampa Bay. So what are they going to do with Nick Foles if he takes him?
That's a very good point. I mean, you have 2 pretty good caliber teams, and you have to question, like, do you want a player who you already know is fairly good in Wentz, or do you want a QB who can show up in pivotal games, won or be done games?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough question.
I'm curious to see what happens with that.
I'm ready for next year.
Yep, you're just done. You're ready for next year, and that's
pretty much.
Yeah. But
don't do basketball, don't do baseball anymore.
Yeah, I don't really pay.
Although
much
I do go to a Dragons game. I do like going to the Dragons.
Yeah, those are pretty fun to go to.
I have not been to one. I've been meaning to get out to one, but I've never been a big fan of baseball in general. But going to actually watch them in person, I can see how that would be fun.
It is, and it's kind of depending on where you sit. There's a little defense involved in it. It's not just drinking in the sun. It's watching out for stuff flying at your head.
Well, yeah. You gotta,
That's the thing about baseball that I can see that, like, I definitely see compared to football, basketball, or hockey, that baseball, if you watch it on TV, it's boring after 2 or 3 innings.
There's no risk of something flying at your face at 1,000 miles
unless you're
an hour.
in a house that's a possible risk beforehand. But for the most part, going to the game is a lot more fun than watching it at home. Where football and hockey, it's a lot more fun.
Well, there have been people got hit by pucks too.
Yeah,
which I would say that's equally brutal.
Yep. Equally heads up. And behind the glass isn't safe either.
I always remember Larry Miller, the comedian. Him? He had this one bit. He said, like, every time the players hit the foul balls, these balls go like rockets. And the announcer always goes, "Now there's a lucky fan." And I'm thinking, they don't tell you this guy's reaching for a hot dog. Oh, that's too please. You ever catch a baseball at 1,000 miles an hour?
And now he's never going to breathe again. So that'll be fun. Yep. Look at the size of that nose swell up.
I miss Larry Miller. Is he still out there?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's still with us. I don't think he does comedy anymore.
I always loved his comedy.
Yeah, me too.
The 5 levels of drinking was one of my favorite routines he did. Do you remember that one?
No.
Yeah. There are 5 levels of drinking. 6 if you live in a trailer park, but normally 5.
I just remember he made great faces while he was doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of my favorites back in the day.
He can manipulate those eyebrows.
My top two favorite comics of all time. One of them I know is no longer with us. Richard Jeni.
Yeah, I loved Richard Jeni.
I loved Richard Jeni. Absolutely, one of the best ranters. I mean, that guy could go 20 minutes without taking a breath, and you're trying to breathe because you're laughing so hard because everything he's saying is just punchline after punchline after tag after tag after tag.
Yeah, and he doesn't give you a break.
Yeah,
and. I remember when I first started doing comedy, I kind of thought that's how you did it. No, you don't give him a chance to do it. You just beat the hell out of him. Just one after another after another.
It's like seeing Greg Hahn. Have you seen Greg Hahn?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my God. That man is amazing. He just nonstop energy, and he's another one. He will beat you to death with punchline after punchline, and they're all pretty much one-liners, but they're just spit-fired at you. He was amazing to see on stage. He was, I think it was back in November, maybe October, November. He was at Wiley's.
Yeah.
And I got to sit down and watch his show, and he is absolutely amazing.
I got to go to the very first comic relief they did back in, what was that, like 86, 87, something like that. And I was living in L.A. at the time, and just, that thing was like 6.5, 7 hours long. I don't know how they edited it down to 3, but it was just, I left there and my sides had never hurt so hard from laughing. And it was like everybody that was in comedy, Richard Jenny was there. I mean, just everybody. And, to walk away from that and just, it was amazing to see, speaking of Jenny, and he was doing a bit about wearing a condom. And it's like, yeah, why don't we just, twist some saran wrap around that thing and crank on it with a monkey wrench, and let's just start yanking out pubes with tweezers. Let's go.
About the same thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like, what the heck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, if anybody listening has never seen the comedy of Richard Jenny or Larry Miller, get on YouTube, look them up. They are absolutely amazing.
Look it up.
On that note, I think we're gonna take a little break. I got some Potter's Field queued up.
All right.
You ready to do some head banging?
Yes, sir. Let her rip.
All right. Actually, little tidbit about Potter's Field. Just found out last week they are right now number 1 on Dayton's metal charts for Reverb Nation. Number 1 metal in Dayton.
Nice.
So yeah, absolutely
fantastic.
And there's a reason they rock
metal.
So we're gonna play a little Potter's Field, and we will be back here shortly.
Way down my
The weekdays are made for working, but the weekends, those are made for gaming. Join Ellison Smith every Saturday for a new episode of Saltwater Gaming as he breaks down video games of all different genres, consoles, platforms, and eras. Get a bit of the old and a bit of the new, a bit of the action and a bit of the mystery. Get it all every Saturday on Saltwater Gaming, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
All right, we're back on the air. I'm well, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be hearing this. So just so you know, in case you're hearing this and you don't realize that we're broadcasting, we are back on the air.
We are back. The acid is not kicking in. It's just us.
Yep, that way there's no confusion about where we are. We are
Speaking
on
of the
air
acid kicking
right
in,
now.
did you notice the new shirt, huh? How about that?
I did, and I was going to tell you, it's kicking in with that shirt. And
I like to get frisked a lot, so I always wear questionable outfits.
Yeah.
You come here.
Well, with all the cats on there, it does look really frisky.
Yeah, we're going to pat you down.
Yeah. See what I did there, Doug? That's called comedy gold. Or something. That's comedy brown, maybe. That's probably what that's called.
Heavy comedy aluminum.
Yes. Well, we are back on the Life Radio Show. Obviously, what other show would be this stupid as soon as they come back on the air? I'm your host, Don Smith. What other host would be this stupid?
And I'm Trace, and I'm out of jail.
Exactly. Trace is out of jail. And the acid isn't kicking in yet.
Yeah.
So we're still good. Doug, is your acid kicking in yet?
Not yet.
Have you tried the NyQuil?
Yeah. Doug Levis just squeaked the microphone across there in case I love to get those squeaks in every now and then.
Yeah, that was not the acid. That was just me moving the mic.
That's Doug squeaking over there. So anybody sounds like bed springs going to town, but there's no monkey business going on here.
I haven't put my Bengay on yet.
Yeah.
My joints.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the bed springs with you and Trace
No.
over there.
Hey.
Haven't been gay yet. So not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Just want to clarify. Dude, where are we? We're in the studio at WWSU 106.9 FM. Let's do. Are we ready to hit some news stories?
You bet.
Okay,
let's find out who's doing what.
Let's find out what's going on in the world right now. Now, I skipped this one last time. I don't know why. I'll go back and hit it. It's probably not all that exciting. That's why I skipped it.
All right.
Nothing like disqualifying it before you even start.
Exactly. Let's throw a zero out and see what happens.
Let's dump a big turd on them and see how they like it. A woman who accidentally received the wrong lottery ticket from a cashier and decided to buy it anyway made the right move. Oksana Zakharov figures that's part of that Russian conspiracy. That's her payback for getting the President Trump elected in there. 46 from Edgewater, New Jersey, was shopping in Manhattan when she asked the clerk for a $1 New York lottery scratch-off ticket. Instead, the man unwittingly handed her a $10 set-for-life ticket. Zakharov noticed the mistake. She said, when the clerk handed me the wrong ticket, I felt bad, so I decided to just go ahead and buy it. The mother of two told the lottery in a press release. I actually used the ticket as a bookmark for a couple of weeks before I decided to scratch it.
Yeah.
Now she can buy a whole lot of bookmarks. She won $5 million to be distributed over 20 years, plus annual net sums of $172,068 after that for the rest of her life. And we all hate her now.
Still 176. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, that I would take that.
Yeah. You see the kid that won the big money was like what, 21?
20.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he 20? Was he old enough to buy it?
Yeah, he was.
Because I thought you had to be 21 to win.
I don't know.
I don't know the exact details, but I know you have to at least be 18 to buy it because that's any state. You have to be 18 to buy lottery stuff.
Right.
But I don't know the exact details.
Yeah, me either. And but anyway,
Still,
so if somebody hands you the wrong ticket,
take it.
Take it. Might as well, because it could be fate.
Exactly.
And you could lose $10 and get nothing at all.
What
have you lost other than $10?
At least you didn't get a scar out of it.
You
don't have a good story.
Exactly. Yeah, you could. I mean, unless you get a paper cut from it. Cause,
now you could do that.
$5 million paper cut.
Yeah, I'd take it. Yeah, give me $5 million.
Good paper cut across the back of the neck to the guy that sold you a losing lottery ticket.
Yeah, I do that anyway. I try to go up behind him, later on after they sell me the losing ticket. I make sure they know.
I wonder if you could take those back for a refund. Hi, these didn't work.
Yeah.
Here's a pile of rejects.
Well, I think you can only do that once the acid kicks in.
Yeah. No, once that kicks in, you can do just about anything.
That's true.
It's funny because whenever I was younger, my this was whenever I was not even double digits, and I was my mom. I was somewhere shopping with my mom, and my she gave me like $1, expecting me to go and get like a soda or a snack from the vending machine. But I had other plans by putting it in the scratch off machines, and got one, and I gave it to her. She scratched it off and got like $25 off of it.
There you go.
I'm like,
she did. Well, you didn't get any money out of that, did you?
I have no idea.
He was not 18 at the time, and that's illegal.
Yeah,
We've discussed that.
That is wrong. That is wrong. that basically your mother stole your money.
Yeah.
That's what, that's what happened right there.
Well, sometimes that happens.
Yeah. She stole your luck and your money. So, yep, you should.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks for nothing. You take, mother. A speeding car driven by a man authorities said had been using drugs soared off a median divider and into a second-floor dental office in Santa Ana, California, early Sunday. And the vehicle lodged there as cops and rescuers arrived to extinguish a small fire and help extract one of the occupants. The Orange County Fire Authority, thanks for the squeak, the Orange County Fire Authority noted in a series of tweets, because that's how these authorities communicate.
That's how they
anymore.
get it around these days.
Right. Yeah. Forget the news, tweet it. When in doubt, tweet it out.
Exactly.
Another car occupant exited unassisted. Both had minor injuries. The driver, who admitted to using narcotics,
but he didn't say what kind, because some of us want to know,
will be admitted to local hospital for observation. Fire authority statement said. Authorities are pursuing DUI charges against the driver, whose name has not been released.
That was pretty amazing how he could take a car and put it in the second.
Have you seen the video of that?
I've not seen the video. I've seen the picture.
Man, he was cooking. He hit that median, and he had to have had some good speed behind him, because he hit that baby and he launched like a Hot Wheels.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was
pretty
find
cool.
that video now.
Yeah,
take a look at that.
Oh, it was.
See,
it was.
Yeah, Doug's looking it up right now. Give us a play-by-play. I'm just kidding. We can't do video on the radio. This is audio format.
Yeah,
that's true.
See, much like they're not getting the entire joy of the shirt.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't try to do video clips on your show, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, because that'd just be confusing for listeners.
If you've never done acid, you could lick this shirt, but you're going to want to be safe.
Yeah.
I like it
safe for like 10, 15 minutes.
I like it either way. That's something I would wear.
Yeah, if he likes it, just not enough to lick it just yet. Yeah. You get to a safe place. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, you going to hiss on that one? Signed a law on Monday making it illegal to fly an unmanned drone aircraft after having too many drinks, said a spokesman on the Republicans' last day in office, because apparently Chris Christie is out of office now. So that was his last act, to say no drinking and droning. The law prohibits flying a drone with a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or higher, the same as for driving a vehicle or while drugged. Even if it's against your will, I guess. Because being drugged, it's different than being on drugs.
I can barely operate me if I'm drunk, much less a drone. What are you going to, fly it into the closet and just bounce it around the coach for a while?
Right. Just that the way that's stated, or while drugged. Because being drugged is not something you do on your own.
You're right. Now, being on drugs, that's different. If you're on
drugs, you did it yourself. If you're drugged,
there's usually a dart in your ass somewhere.
Yeah,
you're going,
or you're having a drink with Bill Cosby, something like that. If you're drugged, So violators, just drinks weird. Violators face up to 6 months in jail or a $1,000 fine, or both, for flying a drone while drinking. That is terrible. Because really, it's a drone. What? I mean, I can see if it's one of the big military
you get a little
combat
special
drones,
license plate for that if you do. That drone's been drinking.
Do
What's
they
that
have
thing?
little drone police officers pull you over? Is that how does this work?
Little drones to come and butt you out of the sky.
Yeah,
Get down,
yeah,
get down.
Pull
get down.
over, pull over.
You have ones
Land.
with guns in.
I'm just going to tap you to the ground. land.
Yeah, land the vehicle.
Flies over it.
The measure which passed the Democratic
Remember
controlled
Spy
state.
Hunter as a kid, the
Oh,
video
yeah.
game? You got a little fog bank
Yeah,
that
little
could just fly in front of him and fog him out. Now he can't see.
That's fantastic.
Just
'Cause you could use
fly
that as a
above him and
mosquito
oil
fogger,
slick him.
too. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Well, with a drone, you'd want something that would cast a net out and then
Yeah.
take them down. You know,
And the net's a
get
pretty big
wrapped
girl.
up.
I bet she would, too.
A net? Oh, yeah. She'd reach right up and grab it. Take them down.
Air spikes.
The measure which passed the Democratic-controlled state legislature early this month also bars flying a drone near a prison or in pursuit of wildlife. So if you're hunting with a drone,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
In pursuit of wildlife. Well, there goes what I want one for.
Yeah.
I just wanted to terrorize
Aw.
squirrels.
Yeah,
Not so much.
I
My
wanted to
tree.
chase neighborhood dogs around. That's what, if they're wild dogs only, and feral cats. That's why I
There
want
you
my
go.
drone, is just to go up every now and then and just buzz a feral
I'm
cat.
even good with the
That's-
cats. It's just the squirrels that I
Yeah.
have. It's tree rats. If you could just
Tree
leave my
rats.
neighborhood, I'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yep, I want to chase pigeons. That's really.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yep,
Just hang out in the building above the statue and
yeah.
just wait for
See
him to
that?
land.
I want a drone that can poop on a pigeon. That's what I want. Just
Drone with
little
a
bit of-
squirt
just a
bottle
little bit of
attached to it.
payback.
Yeah, there you
Like
go.
a
Yeah.
pancake mix. Just
Yeah. That would be perfect. I want a drone that looks like a bird that can poop out pancake mix on my neighbor's car.
Or ketchup. Just a big bloody splat just right on.
I'm buying a drone now. I got plans.
You're on the news. Don Smith buys a drone and dumps pancake
News at
mix on it.
11. Don and Trace in jail again.
Dumping pancake mix on everybody.
Apparently, there are 38 states that are considering restrictions on drone flying this legislative year, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. Is that really something? Is it? I mean, come on.
Well,
They're toys.
I was watching a thing the other day on the opening
I
of
can
the
see-
Cincinnati. What was it? They just opened down in Cincinnati this year.
Oh, I don't know.
Big this music hall.
Oh, okay. I
And
didn't
the
know
dude that was operating the drone, he showed some.
I didn't
we're
know that. I
looking
was
on.
going to try to throw a Bengals joke out
No.
there somewhere.
They were, showing the footage of here we are going to open the new music hall, and this guy had his drone out. Let's show some drone footage, and you could tell that
That he'd been drinking.
yeah, I'd been drinking or something there because it was just jerking all over the place. It's like, dude, just let the camera do the work. Yeah. And then he went from this is cool to wow, look, suddenly we're violating federal airspace because when you can see when the buildings lose definition and you can't tell what you're looking at, your drone's a little bit too high.
You're too high, and so is your drone.
Exactly. Both of you, come on down.
Yeah, the pigeon pooping drone. That is definitely something I want.
We'll get R&D working on that.
Yeah,
That's-
absolutely.
There is no
absolutely,
off on the genius switch.
Yeah,
My
there's-
mind is just a blur right now.
There's got to be some payback for those birds that poop on my car all the time.
After the show, we're going to Radio Shack.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Hi, we need parts.
Yep.
Now you might need a drone to find a Radio Shack.
Yeah, are there any Radio Shacks around?
I don't know. Well, let's go to Mendelssohn's. Mendelssohn's got parts.
Oh yeah, Mendelssohn's. I bet they got some. You can get a good drone.
Hey, we need to poop on birds. What do you got for us?
If I want a pooping drone. What do you got?
Security.
Yeah, they
Not
are kicking in now. Ain't it?
Not
Yeah,
again.
Doug, quit licking his shirt. Punk rock has been around for more than 4 decades, which means the original creators are old enough for Social Security or at least AARP cards.
Yeah, some of them are dead by now.
Yeah. Yet the genre still
Beat the
maintains...
back brat with a ball bat. I can't even raise a ball bat. What are you talking about?
Yet the genre still maintains its youthful appeal to anyone who has been snarled at by a teen wearing a Ramones t-shirt can attest. That's why old school punks can relate to a new song by a bunch of cranky old musicians called, appropriately enough, F Youth. I'm not going to say the whole F word, youth. The Los Angeles-based punk group Super Bean performs the song and doesn't mince words. Here's some of the lyrics. Kids today think they're so great, they think they got it made. Got it made. When I was their age, it was so much cooler. When I got older, I found out the truth. F youth.
Yeah.
And yes, the video for the song features an old guy yelling, "You kids get off my lawn!"
There we go. That's my neighborhood. I'm sometimes that guy.
Yeah. Every now and then.
Out there swinging a shovel.
Yep, your day isn't complete till you chase some darn kids off the lawn. Yep.
You punks.
Yeah.
Maybe with that pooping drone.
There you go. That's another use for it. So kids get on your lawn, you can make your drone poop on them.
I'd like to rig up a boxing glove to a drone. Just fly right up next to him and just
bam!
Hey, stupid, what?
Yeah, said get off my lawn. Yep, or a boot.
Just fly right up next to him.
Just a low-flying drone with a boot in the front.
Like on an 8-foot pole.
We're going to make a fortune with these crates.
There's probably a listener like, oh, this stuff is juicy.
Yep, all these ideas are copyrighted by Trace Shuttleworth and Don Smith. Do not touch them. We are making them tonight. I'm going to call in.
Going to Mendelssohn's where we're getting some parts. Yep. I need like 2 gallons of super glue.
Yep. Yep. I'll work on the boots. You work on the punching gloves.
Trust me. I've got the punching thing.
Awesome. Yep, little battering ram.
Yeah,
too.
That's exactly.
Because you could sell that to police force. That way, they
get that baby so it punches out a good 7 or 8 feet. Get some good velocity behind it.
Oh yeah. We could. We're on it.
Yeah.
the
drone's going to look like the size of a damn ceiling fan, but
that's all good. That's just another warning. Stay away from it. You'll get chopped up.
If the battering ram doesn't work, you can just move it close.
Yeah. Take the safety guards off of it, and you can just cut somebody.
There you go. Just fly it around, just Dayton, just beat the hell out of people.
Beheading people and punching people with
Yeah. I'm
Man,
on it. Let's go for that.
Fantastic. Yeah. So many good ideas. Here's another jackass ran the lottery. Luck doesn't begin to describe the good fortune that has hit a Randolph, Massachusetts couple. Robert Goodwin just won $1 million jackpot on a $5 instant lottery ticket after his wife Jane won $1 million in Publishers Clearinghouse in August, and now we hate them too.
Wow.
The Massachusetts Lottery said in a press release on Monday, the husband chose a lump sum payment of $650,000. I hate you. At least part of which will go toward purchasing a home in an over 55 community someplace where he won't have to deal with snow.
Yeah.
No more shoveling, he said.
He said, I can't believe I'm due to hit the Powerball on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yep. And again, we hate them too.
I heard a story that this woman started complaining to her husband about spending too much money on lottery tickets and winning little to nothing on them, and then
which is how it usually works.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Why don't you just go and grab one, see how exhilarating it is?" She goes, gets a $5 one, and wins like $2 million from it,
and then divorces him.
Yeah,
no, then she shot him.
And then she shot him.
Quit your bitching,
yep.
Pop.
There is one more story that I absolutely have to get to. Because this one is just fun. A Rhode Island rap artist whose songs include a tune titled "Sell Drugs" was sentenced to 3 years in prison Wednesday for selling drugs.
Ironic.
30-year-old Michael Prasad, a.k.a. Montana Mills, pleaded guilty in October to drug trafficking charges. According to prosecutors, Prasad sold and delivered nearly 3/4 of an ounce of fentanyl and 2 grams of heroin to an undercover East Providence police detective between October 2016 and February 2017. Authorities added that on at least 2 occasions, Prasad's girlfriend drove him to the delivery site. Prosecutors also said police seized an additional 1.5 ounces of fentanyl during a search of the Providence home where the mother of one of Prasad's children lived. His lawyer, Matthew Smith, which doesn't sound like a lawyer name to me.
No.
His lawyer told Associated Press the sentence was fair and just. Yeah, because he did it.
Yeah.
Prosecutors had asked for a 6-month prison term. Prasad also awaits sentencing in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, where a jury convicted him of drug charges this past August. So, hey, he is true to his word.
2 strikes.
If you're going to have a song called Sell Drugs, you better get busted for selling drugs or you have no street cred.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the man knows his audience. That's
Well, you know, like you say, you
yeah.
got to go with that street cred. You don't want to go to the slam for stealing, cookies from a
absolutely
Girl
not.
Scout. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got to.
Yeah, there's certain things you don't want to go to prison for, and selling drugs. I mean that's if you're a rap artist with a song called "Sell Drugs," and you go to prison for selling drugs, it's cool, man. You're good.
Yeah, you're golden. You're golden in the slam. See, I just look like I do drugs.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wink, wink. Just look
wink,
like
wink,
you.
nod, nod. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it kicking in? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, now that we're getting older, how the drugs that you do switch.
Well, yeah. You go from
stuff that you used to do recreationally to.
Used to be for fun. Now it's for necessity. Yeah.
Well, I never really did Advil for fun, but
Oh, you didn't?
Now it's like, oh yeah, where's my sinus pill? I don't want to drip snot on everything.
Yeah. If you can't drip snot on everything, then why is life even worth living?
No, that's how I mark territory.
Exactly.
Walk around the house and fling it like a slobbery dog.
Sorry, I'm doing some things here that I forgot to do earlier.
Taking care of some paperwork.
Taking care of some paperwork here on the live, and you get to listen in.
Woo!
Hey,
Lucky
next I'm
you.
going to do my taxes.
Yeah.
All right, Trace Martin. Martin.
Yeah.
I just go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still use Martin on stage?
I do. It's
Okay.
my middle name. Keeps me out of trouble.
Okay. Well,
when I'm looking for a
the
job or
authorities,
something, it confuses people.
Gotcha. See, that's a good thing with Don Smith is there's 18 million of us.
See, that's
they can never. They try to Google me and they never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get a bunch of me.
If you look up Tracy Shuttleworth, there's some in England, but if you look up Trace Martin, kind of just me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it that way.
That's how you be an individual.
Yeah.
I just said
gotta stand out.
You be an individual.
Exactly.
All right. Well, like you said, you have nothing going on and nothing to promote.
Absolutely nothing.
But it's always good having you on the show.
Might get down to Wiley's here in the next few weeks. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta come. We do 5 o'clock. We do the comics hang. I don't know if you know that. 5 o'clock every Sunday.
Yeah.
We do a comics hanging workshop from 5
I don't
to
even
7.
know what today is. I just
What
had
is
it in my book that
Today
you
is
show
the day
up
I
on
do
Be
my
on the
radio show. That's all I know.
That's how I had it in my
and I have to
phone.
go to work. So beyond that,
Woke up and said, "Go to the radio station." Okay.
You just listen. We all obey our phones nowadays. That's how we get through life. Doug Levis, the Levis Effect. What time's your show on Saturday?
10 to 11 a.m.
10 to 11 a.m. on Saturday to talk about sports.
Yeah.
And do you talk about anything else? You just go over sports, or
Just go over sports. I'm
Okay.
kind of having a tough time figuring out what to do since football's kind of dying down nowadays. So
yeah, you'll come up with something.
yeah, somehow.
Like I keep telling you, comedians are almost always starved for airtime, and you get a microphone in front of them, and they just go on for hours about nonsense. So
Even if you just want them to make fun of sports,
exactly.
give them a topic, turn them loose.
Yep, there you go. All right, well, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to sign off. It's been good having you, Trace. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again,
get back out
Don.
to the comedy world. I'm not forcing you because I can barely even force myself to do it.
No, I do have new jokes. I continue to write.
Well, that's good because I'm kind of at a dry spell with writing. And be sure to check out the Levis Effect on Saturdays at 10 a.m. With Doug Levis. And on that note,
bid you adieu.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. I have no guests planned yet, so I'm going to have to find some people to come on with me next week, and we'll all be surprised together.
Yep, I might be back.
Yep, I might be fired. Thanks for tuning in, and go listen to some Sell Drugs.
There you go.
Don't get busted.
This has been The Life.
Yep, this is The Life. We'll see you next week. This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.